This is how to make a chocolate buttermilk cake.
First thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Then you need to go and get your ingredients. You need 1 stick of butter, 2 tablespoons of cocoa, half cup water, 1 cup sugar, 1 cup flour, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 cup buttermilk, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1 egg. First thing you want to do after you have your ingredients is take your butter, your cocoa, your water, and you're going to mix those in a salt, and you're going to bring those to a boil in a saucepan. If you break up your butter first, it'll help it melt a little faster. And then you're going to add your water and your cocoa to that after it's slightly melted. We put ours on medium heat. And you want to continuously stir this as you're trying to bring it to a boil. Boiling. Then you're going to remove it. You're going to turn your heat off and remove it from the burner. Set it aside. Then you're going to add your baking soda to your buttermilk. You're going to stir that in, and then you're going to set that aside as well. Now you're going to add your dry ingredients together, your flour, your sugar, your salt. You're going to stir that in your mixer just for a second. Now to that, you're going to add your wet mixture, so your cocoa, your water, your butter. And this is still pretty warm, so you want to be careful when you're pouring it in, and then you want to make sure you scrape out the bottom of your pan. Then you're going to mix those till they're thoroughly incorporated in one another. Then you're going to add your buttermilk, your egg, and your vanilla. You want to add your vanilla and your buttermilk first because your mixture is still very warm at this point. And you want to mix it till it's cooled down enough to add your egg so your egg doesn't scramble while you're trying to mix it in. And you should feel the sides of your bowl just to make sure it's not too warm. And once it feels cool enough, then you can crack your egg and add it in and just mix it into your batter. And then you want to scrape off your paddle before you go and pour it. And as you can see, you're going to need a 9x9 pan, and you're going to need it greased. And the batter looks a little watery, and it's perfectly fine. It's supposed to be that way. It just makes your cake really moist. And so you're going to pour that in, and you're going to scrape out your bowl. That's what it should look like before it goes in the oven. The bubbles are fine. And then you're going to put it in your oven, and you're going to set your timer for 20 minutes. And then now you're going to go and get your ingredients for your frosting. You're going to need 1/3 cup of butter softened. We softened ours by setting it on the oven while the cake was baking a little bit. And then 1/3 cup of cocoa, 2 cups powdered sugar, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and about 3 tablespoons of milk. You want to soften up your butter a little bit and then mix it all together. And then mix your cocoa into your butter once it's been beat up a little bit. And then to this, you want to turn off your mixer. You want to make sure you do that. Then you're going to add all of your powdered sugar and pour it in. Like that was a terrible idea because powdered sugar went everywhere. Then you're going to turn your mixer on to a low speed. Otherwise, powdered sugar will fly up everywhere. And then you're going to stir that together a little bit, and you're going to add in your vanilla. And then to this, you are going to slowly add in about a tablespoon at a time of your milk. And this will make your frosting an actual frosting consistency. And you might need a little bit more milk depending on how you like your frosting. We added a little bit more. And then once you have all your milk in, you want to beat that together for about 3 minutes. It'll make it nice and fluffy. And then when your cake is done baking, you need to toothpick test it just to make sure it's done. And the toothpick should come out clean. And then pull it out of the oven and set it on the front burner of your stove. So now you're going to frost the cake, and you're going to need 2 people for this. Somebody's going to have to hold the pan, and somebody else is actually frosting. And you want to make sure that you add the frosting to the corners and not the center of the cake. Otherwise, the cake is going to fall. And when you pull the frosting to the middle of the cake and across the cake, it's going to melt a little bit. That's perfectly normal. It's just because you're frosting immediately after it comes out of the oven. Then you want to put it in the freezer, and then now you're done.
Thank
you for watching.